I took a KTK bank trade today, so I'll explain that how did I enter into it and what made me enter into it directly, and about the sectors as well, that how do I calculate the sector strength and should I enter in this sector or not. Okay, so first of all I'll tell you two things, that in KTK bank I have two trades. I have one trade over here and I have more over here. Okay, so I added more over here. This is my current, this black line is my current stop loss, and this is not a buy sell recommendation. If you want to trade or do anything, you do upon your research. Okay, so let's just directly go into that why did I enter in this trade. Okay, so this is SSR equal weighted NAV that is made by me, and this is an open source script indicator. What this indicator basically is, that in this indicator you can click on that and you can select stocks, and this is basically equi-weighted indicator. Okay, so if you will add 10, you just type over 10 and make sure that all over here is Nifty, and you type 10 over here, and then the top 10 stocks will be listed over here with the equal weight, so it will give you an equal weight. For example, in the KTK bank, if you press over here on trading view, okay, regional banks, top 10 stocks. Okay, so if you paste top 10 stocks right over here, they'll appear over here and they will appear something like this. For example, you can also turn on Nifty 500. Okay, you cannot turn on in that indicator. I'll show you another indicator for that, and that is a beautiful one in the end. So okay, you know that now regional banks, you have added 10, you have added top 10 stocks according to the MCAP, and you know now that okay, there was a breakout right over here and the stock's been growing since. Okay, and what you can do, one more thing, that for example from 1 Jan this is listed, so you can drag it till over here as well. Okay, for example I have dragged it till this level, so it will show numbers here according to that level. Okay, so for example, if I go right over here, it is showing me that it is in an uptrend over here. Okay, so on this day when the prices came down to this 20 EMA, this is 20 EMA, the red line, the blue one is 10 and this one is 50. Okay, so I'll drop the link for this in the description as well, so make sure to check it out. Okay, and so over here, the on the next day the prices came down. So this is, the base is basically 100, so the prices came down at the level of 130. Okay, so over here we can see on 8th of July, so over here as well on the daily, on 8th of July we can see that it made a bottom of this level, which we'll just mark is this. Okay, that is 261. It made a bottom right over here. So first let's go to the monthly. Let's see that how is the stock performing. So if we see from 2000s, the price was sometime 3. Okay, at some time the price was 3. Now on 1 Jan 2024, that's the January month, it made a high. Okay, it made a high of, basically it made a high of 272 or something like that. Okay, so then what happened, it made a cup on a monthly time frame I'm talking about, in under 2.5 years it made a cup, then it is currently in a contraction basis, and a monthly inside bar as well, if you can see. Let's go to the weekly. On monthly everything looks right, the turnover is very great, there are volumes, there are very good quality candles, 50%, 4% candles. Let's go on the weekly. How is it on the weekly? Weekly there was a prior uptrend. Okay, then there was a cup, then we can see one thing from over here, that it made a base over here, it made a base over here before pulling back, and it never came. Okay, and it made a base over here as well. Okay, so on weekly too we can see that there are good candles in form, there is good liquidity of 179 crores. Okay, and we see a cup pattern and then a consolidation happening, with it is respecting its 10 EMA very well. Okay, taking bounce backs from a 10 EMA, so it is respecting its 10 EMA very well. Let's go on the daily. Okay, in the daily what's happening, there's a cup formation, there's a base formation over here, then a base formation at this level, then a base formation at this level. Then after that again there was an all-time high touched on 4th May 2026, and then the prices came down to the level of 239. Okay, so basically on the daily we see that the contraction is going up and up. Okay, now let's look at the turnover. We see that 80 crores is the last turnover right now. That means it has a good turnover. It is liquid, but it is not that liquid like the stocks like the BSC and all. But okay, it is a regional bank stock, a good market cap of regional banks, but it is a part of top 10 regional banks, so it is okay. It has good liquidity, right? We can identify now more things, that on the daily, does it have any good quality candles? Yes, it does. 7%, 5, 8%, 5%, okay, 3%. Big candles. uh, let's go back and check out. Okay, right over here 10%, 9% candles. So it has a very good quality of candles, and we see also that contractions are happening on the uptrend and there is no undercut yet. Okay, so over here now let's go and zoom it, that this green line you can see. First let's mark these black. Okay, so these green line you see, that was the previous all-time high, and you see the first correction from over here, then the second correction from over here making a base at this level, then the third correction from over here making a base at this level, a fourth correction from this levels making a base at this level. So you see that the first base was approximately 13%, the second one 8%, the third one 8%. Okay, the third one is 7.5%, the fourth one is 4.23%, and we see now at this point too that on the weekly we see contractions happening, and they are basically respecting the 10 EMA, and over here as well now there is an inside bar on the weekly, and this 4% contraction we can see. So now let's go to the daily. Basically weekly and monthly is our 10 time frame, so we can see a good trend from over here, then a cup on a monthly, on a weekly too a good trend and a good trend running. Okay, and with contractions as well on the daily. If we see our setup in form, yes, there is basically 40 as per the VCP pattern. Do tell me if you want a VCP video as well, a detailed video. And we see a contraction over here. Okay, then after a contraction a big green candle, and after this candle we can conclude that okay, the stock is 2.75% up, and if the stock goes higher and higher then it has to pull back early, because right now this is not the best base that we have to pick it up. Now I'll explain the trade, that why did I take a trade over here. You see the regional banks, the regional bank sector. Okay, the regional bank sector being equated made a low on this day, and it was widely respecting its 20 EMA. So, and KTK Bank too was making a high again and again, then it made a low over here, and the next day when it had strong volumes on this day, and then on this day when it had more strong volumes, so we added on these 2 days a little quantity. Okay, not the best quantity, we added more quantity at these levels 273, and I did not add full quantity as well right now of these only. Okay, of this only stock, for example, I was putting 40% of my total capital, so I have put 10%, 10%, 10%, and remaining 10% it is yet to put. Okay, so now I have basically 30% of my position sizes into KTK Bank, and this is not a buy sell recommendation again. So over here it made a base, now it was contracting from over here, so then I have entered into over here with the intraday strategy that we'll discuss about later. Okay, so right over here I will tell you why did I take the trade over here as well. When in intraday the stock must be very negative because it opened higher, and it must be very negative, making a bearish engulfing candle. Okay, and I still made a low of this. So why did I exactly do that? Okay, so let me explain basically this. Let's just go to 1 hour time frame and then see that where did I exactly make a trade. Okay, so first think that why was it that I made a trade over here? Why? How did I know that it would go up over over here and then it might go down? Okay, it's completely okay, it's completely fine with me. I have a strict stop loss with me, so no worries, and the stop loss will also let me have my positions in profit only, because the 20% I've added is now the stop loss is above that 20%. Okay, so do have a look and think for a minute that why did I take this trade. Okay, so in the support and the resistance lectures in the academy, I have explained that whenever, and in the volume and liquidity as well, that whenever you see on the these blue dots are basically these session breaks. Okay, so you see that over these session breaks, when the day started, there was a big -3% candle on the start. Okay, so you can look at it in the on the first hour. Just a second. Is it? Yeah, so in the first hour, that is basically, or at 9:15, there was a big red candle that was -4%. Okay, the timing is somehow different, I don't know how. Okay, uh, I'll just set it up back to +5:30. Okay, okay, so we are back at the normal timings. What is this? Okay, okay, yes, thank you for your time. So over here, or over -3% candle over here, and you can look on a 1 hour time frame that there were strong volumes. If I add this indicator as well, that is the intra-hour volume, so you look at it that there was 117% of the average last 20 days volumes in the first 1 hour. And if I go to the 15 minutes, let's go to the 15 and the 5 minutes, you look at the starting, that it started, the first 5 minutes were 0.25% good. It was trying to break out, but the sellers pushed it downside, okay, making a doji candle. So you could do a intraday, but I don't generally support that. So what happened, that the fall was drastic, and in the first 30 or 40 minutes there was a very big fall. Then it made a low, and you can see what was the low. Basically, wasn't the low all-time high? Okay, this low was the all-time high, so it is a very strong low which was over here. Okay, and one more thing, that whenever we see the support and resistances, we confirm them with volumes as well. Okay, so you see this fall, and you see this fall. Doesn't this fall have so many volumes, so many good volumes? And does this fall have a lot of volumes? No, that means this fall, this fall has made a pivot right over here, made a support right over here, very strong, with so many volumes, that at this range, when there are no volumes, we can conclude that okay, the sellers are weak over here. Okay, the sellers are weak over here, and there was just a pivot point. And let's go in the 3 minute. I went to the 3 minute, we see that again, so much volumes on the fall. Then when it made a pivot zone, I waited, it went up, it was completely okay. Then it came back. Okay, and then where there was no volumes, when it made a doji candle again, a doji candle again, then a hammer candle again right over here, and we look that the buyers were coming in. Okay, the buyers were coming in, the sellers were weak, the sellers were strong, made a pivot zone, the buyers were stopping this zone. Okay, the buyers were having pressure, the buying pressure was more over here. And then I waited for the 3 candles, for the 5 minute, basically for the 5 minute candle to close here on the doji, and I waited for the 5 minute candle to close over here as well. Okay, so on this 5 minute and on this 5 minute candle, it basically engulfed this one, and when on this candle it surpassed, so I added some quantity over here. Okay, and now we can see that on the next two candles there was a 1.5% move. Then the stock was behaving simply on the 5 minutes, being a little volatile, and then again some volumes. You look at it, again some volumes at the last. I don't know what will happen, we don't know, but if you see it on a broader time frame and having a strict stop loss, okay, I have a strict stop loss at 267, and if I see on a broader time frame, on a weekly time frame, I see it going higher. Okay, I see it going a lot higher because the banks are performing. Okay, the regional banks are performing, being equated. Okay, so I'll show you that the capital weighted as well. Okay, market capital weighted as well. So you see over here on these levels it made a very good VCP pattern, and when we have an entry over here, entry some over here, and then entry some over here. So basically this is my average right now. 270, 269 is my current average, and my stop loss is 267. So not a big stop loss. Okay, to be honest, a 3% stop loss, a 1.52% stop loss, and then we are entering it in very detail. Okay, this was a very detailed breakdown. Okay, we see contraction respecting on weekly, 10 EMA is respected, we see contraction on D. So it's all about perspective, that how do you see your trade to be. Okay, how do you see the contractions, how do you see the resistances at, how do you see the support at, it is all about that. Okay, and I'll provide this indicator link which basically tells you the equal weighted NAV according to you. So I'll provide this, and one indicator I would more likely to talk about, that in this indicator what you have to do, that you have to do every time, make every time that a stock, you have to select all the stocks from over here one by one according to the market cap, and then you have to check it for every stock. I have made an indicator right over here which is exclusively available for the exclusive members, okay, academy members. So it is basically a basket source, then a manual industry selection. uh, Basically if I have sourced it from auto, for example, it is from Sansera right now, producer manufacturing. Okay, for example I go to Motherson. Okay, so it is from auto as well, so it will reflect me all the auto stocks right over here. With, if I enable the Nifty 500 overlap, it will also show me Nifty 500 as the base. Okay, let it load, let it load. So, okay, it is also showing me that how it is performing with Nifty 500, that if the Nifty 500 is rising, both have a base. You can select the base, both have a base, very good base of 100, and both are according to that. So you see that auto in the long run is at 326 from, if we are calculating from the 2020 2. Okay, so let's come back to this year, and let's see that how has the NAV been to both. So you'll be knowing an exact comparison. For example, you want to compare a fast 3 months from, so it is 22 July right now, let's go to 22nd May, April, 22 March. Okay, let's go to 20 22 April. Okay, so the NAV is basically from here. Now what we can see, that still the auto being equated, this is all the equated stocks, has performed much. So the Nifty 500, if it was on the 22 April being 100, it is 100 only right now. Okay, it is at 100.67, and the auto being at 100.9. So in the last 3 months it has given 9% returns over here, you can see. And if you want to go it, make it market cap weight, you see now here there will be a change in weights. Okay, so now you see what, that it has given 7.35% returns if we'll calculate the top 15 stocks. Okay, the top 15 stocks, if we'll calculate, it has given me how much returns? 7.35% returns in the 3 months, 1 month 1.7%, in the last 1 week that is 1.3% returns. Okay, so you see the auto being having a breakout on the M cap as well. With here we see on the M cap, and if we go and select it back, okay, the equal weight, if we select back, then also we can see that it has given a breakout, then it is pulling back. So it is a very nice indicator, and it gives you, for example, you go over here and then you go over the sectors, then you go over the industries, it will list you all the industries, basically all the 122 industries it has in over here. It has all the 122 industries, and whenever you select a stock it will show you the chart according to that automatically, and with that it will show you these things, it will show you the stock prices. You can customize some things as well. The code will be protected, but you can customize everything from here as per your decision as well. And now then from over here, this indicator is basically the same, but you have to add stocks every time. So that one is in my private access only in the academy, so do tell me if you guys want that. Okay, the link is in the description for this one, and this was the KTK bank trade which I took, the according to the regional bank sector. Okay, and according to the this, so the regional bank sector is about to have a pullback as well, and I think it will reach newer highs, taking KTK bank to newer highs as well. It is completely my analysis, not a buy or a sell recommendation. Okay, so this was the one trade which I took recently. Okay, so I'll be uploading a PDF for this as well, and I'll be uploading this on my Telegram, so you can join my Telegram from the description as well. For more trades and for fastest updates, you can join my Telegram, and I'll be uploading the private access link as well, so if you want to access that, plus I'll be dropping this. Okay, so thank you for this, thank you for watching this. Do tell me in the comments if you want a VCP pattern video, and if you want more trades explained like this. Thank you everyone.